And we welcome everybody into this week's edition of Xfinity Hornet Football Weekly. I'm your host, Jason Ross. We will have Marshall Spurbeck joining me here on the set in a few moments, but we're going to start out with our first guest, and that's Tiante Sims, the Athletics Ticket Manager. Tiante, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Busy time for you and certainly for the program. You got the Causeway in 2 weeks, the home opener, or not the home opener, the home finale of the Big Sky this week against Idaho State, so you're always busy, aren't you?
Definitely. Causeway is always a busy time of year, home or away. My phone is always ringing off the hook all year long just for the Causeway.
And we know people, it's kind of the nature of Sacramento State fans. They kind of show up on game day trying to get tickets, which they can. But we got HornetSports.com, our phone number 278-4323 to get people the tickets early and get them in the stadium early.
Yes, and another thing we've tried out this year is to open up our ticket office on the Friday prior to game day. We'll be open from 10 to 6, hopefully to kind of alleviate some of that foot traffic, walk-up sales during game day. And just make it easier on folks to get their tickets.
And that's this week, too. That's Idaho State as well.
Yes, that'll be this week as well.
Yeah, and we should also point out that students who have been great this year, great student support, they show their ID, they get in, and the Green Army, those guys, you're getting some pretty good attendance numbers out there.
Yes, they've been fabulous. We've been, first 2 games over 2,500 students. Last game wasn't too well, but, we're getting there. And it's all due to the Green Army and the excellent job that Angelisa Fontillis and Adam Primus, they're doing a great job.
Well, the Causeway ticket is a special ticket because there will be Davis fans there, obviously a ton of Hornet fans. And I think going into last week, Tiante, the Hornets in the Big Sky, 3rd in attendance numbers, and that's with tradition of Montana and Montana State. So you guys and the Hornet program have done a really nice job.
Yes, it's been excellent this year, and I think the football program is just going in a direction where we're getting more community interest and bringing back our alums.
Yeah, and just the growth of the ticket office, the demand of tickets, not only football, but you've got tickets for basketball, men and women's. I mean, there's a lot of things going on with the sport programs.
Definitely, and for that, we're in the process of kind of merging with the university and selling tickets. We're going to have one centralized location within our new athletic center. Where we'll house the central ticket office and the athletics ticket office to be able to kind of reach out and service our fan base a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm watching the players on game day. They're running around. You might be the one that's busier on game. You are everywhere on game day.
Yes, I try to get around and just make my face and really get out and speak to fans and make sure that fans are getting in and out, as easy and as friendly as possible.
Yeah. Well, Tiante, you do a great job. Thanks for joining me, and let's get a lot of people out there for the next game.
Great. Just want to remind everyone, Davis game is at 1 o'clock. I know that was originally scheduled for 2, but it is going to be at 1.
All right, so 278-4323, the number, HornetSports.com. He's Tiante Sims. We'll bring in Marshall Spurbeck. That is next on Xfinity Hornet Football Weekly.
Do you want inside access to the NFL? Xfinity gets you closer to the game with a front row seat to everything NFL. Get in-depth 24/7 coverage all season long on NFL Network. With Xfinity, the best seat in the house is in your house. Get NFL Network's 24/7 coverage of all 32 teams, plus game recaps on demand when you upgrade to Digital Preferred TV for just $9.99 more a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
If you're a homeowner searching for a way to reduce your monthly payments, think about this. Mortgage rates are near the lowest level in 6 decades, as low as 4.25%, APR 4.4%. But how long will today's rates just sit there? I'm Hayes Barnard, owner of Paramount Equity. Rates change overnight, so don't be paralyzed by the negative housing stories. The reality is, there may never be a better time to lock in your rate of a lifetime. We can close your loan in as little as 10 days, and there's never any upfront costs. Because we're a direct lender, and we can bypass a lot of the big banks' red tape. Even better, if rates were to drop for any reason, we'll protect you with a free rate warranty. So give us a call. The savings is all yours. All you pay is less for your mortgage. No matter how long you've been in your home, I'm almost sure we can cut that biggest bill by 15%, maybe more.
5 minutes could save you thousands. Call right now, 1-800-747-1800.
All right, back here on Xfinity Hornet Football Weekly. We now welcome in for the first time today on the show Marshall Spurbeck. Coach, it's been a tough couple of weeks, there's no doubt about it, but you finished the road portion of your schedule. And kind of let's talk about last week's game, Portland State, a game that really ended up being a tough one for the Hornets.
Yeah, well, it was a tough game as far as being close again and not being able to come away with a win. I was very proud of our defense and the way they fought and really kept us into the game. The nice play by Kyle Monson for the touchdown, and then we had a fumble recovery right before halftime that set us up for another score. So I thought there was a lot of good efforts and good play. It just we came up a little short.
Yeah, and I think sometimes people may get confused with effort and performance, because the effort certainly was there. And to me, it didn't seem like you guys were playing as well, but the key that you mentioned, you were in the game. There was a chance there by the fourth quarter for you guys to leave Portland with a victory. Yeah,
even going at halftime, it's a 16-14 game, and on offense we had only had really the one drive, and we had 3 or 4 3 and outs, and didn't play as well as we're capable of, and to still have our defense keep us that close was a positive coming out the second half.
All right, you mentioned the defense. Let's get some clips, because it started out where you're mentioning your offense really didn't have a good rhythm, so you need a play. Last week our player of the week was Kyle Monson. 2 straight weeks, Coach, he makes a play, and our first clip here is really a great individual effort here on a one-handed catch by Monson.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row where he picks one off and scores, and I don't know when the last time that was done by a defensive back here at Sac State, but that was a heck of a play, and Kyle's done that pretty consistently through his career. I think that was his 3rd one overall.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago he had to kind of follow some blocking, but this one was easy sailing after he made that play. So the next, again, your defense, keeping you in offense at this time, still not moving the ball in the first half, but here, this was a strange series. 3 straight fumbles. This is the 3rd one, and finally you guys recover one here right at the doorstep of the end zone.
We got a good break there. They made a mistake, and we were there to capitalize on it, and it really turned our momentum as far as giving us something to go in with a positive at half.
If I remember right, I want to say that was 3rd and 28, there was 2 straight fumbles. Bizarre, even like an illegal batting by the quarterback, and then finally, I'd never really seen a sequence like that.
Yeah, they struggled a little bit there, and we were fortunate to have them keep snapping the ball, and it worked out in our favor.
All right, so now it's near the end of the half. You're down, but you've got it right there on the end zone. You go to Fleming, kind of no mystery here, I guess. Go right to the quarterback and make sure he gets in.
Yeah, it was just a quarterback sneak and do a good job of getting a yard and go in with the touchdown.
Yeah, so you guys went for 2 the first time, missed it. You go for 2 second time. Actually, I think the second play was a beautifully designed play. First one, borderline whether it could have been pass interference on them. We don't even need to get into that. But take us to where you are now at halftime. Down 16-14. You don't have a lot of offensive numbers, but you're right there in striking distance.
Yeah, we came out the second half, and we felt our best opportunity was to get Jeff moving around a little bit. He had run the ball pretty good the first half, and the drive that we had success on, we threw the ball fairly effectively, and we felt that if we could come out there and give Jeff some options that way, that would give us our best chance.
And some of those options, the running game. Here, our next clip, you go to Sam McCowan, where Sam was able to kind of be a change of pace back. Here was one of his better runs of the day.
Yeah, we got this play going late in the game. It's a we call it, basically a horn play is what we call it, and we get a guard and a center pulling, and it's a down scheme where we get the back outside, and Sam did a nice job of recognizing his block. We came back and ran it 3 or 4 more times after that, had some success as well, but that's a good play for Sam. He does a nice job with it.
All right, tell us about this next play. It's a rushing touchdown by Jeff. A really good effort. He gets to the outside. You can tell he's not 100%, but this was a lot of effort by Jeff.
Yeah, this is a read play. He keys the end there and decides whether he should give it or keep it himself, and he made the decision to keep it. And Jeff plays very reckless and aggressive, as you can see there, and he did that all afternoon. He really competes, and I thought he did a nice job running the football for us all day.
All right, we mentioned the defense. We saw a couple of defensive turnovers that you guys made. We got another clip here from one of your linemen, Matt Lawrence, getting a sack, and quarterback was tough to get to. Kavanaugh was all over the place. This was a nice sack.
Yeah, they haven't given him many sacks. They don't throw the ball a lot, and then when they do, he's very mobile, and it's nice to see Matt. I think that's Matt's first sack on the year, and he's one of those guys that keeps working, and he finally hit home.
Well, so for you guys, obviously another difficult loss, but kind of take us to the spirit of the team, because at this point, when you have 2 heartbreakers in a row and then you lose this game, it can be challenging on anybody.
Yeah, and we've just, all you can do is relate it to life. I mean, life is full of ups and downs, and we're dealing with some downs right now, and, all you can do is, pick yourself back up and fight through it and give it your best shot week to week, and really day to day in practice. And our guys have done that, and a win would go a long ways right now, kind of justifying that hard work.
And part of the challenge of being a coach, of being an athlete, it's not always going to be perfect, so you got to go back at it, and we'll see what you guys can do this week. We'll talk more about that. The game coming up against Idaho State. But up next, we'll have our Player of the Week. That's Nate Doverspike, as he will join us, and we'll get his thoughts on the Hornet season, his season, and his future with Sacramento State. As we'll talk about that as our Player of the Week. That is coming up.
Do you you want inside access to the NFL? Xfinity gets you closer to the game with a front row seat to everything NFL. Get in-depth 24/7 coverage all season long on NFL Network. With Xfinity, the best seat in the house is in your house. Get NFL Network's 24/7 coverage of all 32 teams, plus game recaps on demand when you upgrade to Digital Preferred TV for just $9.99 more a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
It is Paramount Equity Mortgage Player of the Week time, and Nate Doverspike joining us here, the senior at left tackle, part of that Hornet offensive line. Nate, thanks for joining us here.
Thanks for having me.
And congratulations on being our Player of the Week. I know it's been a challenging run for Sacramento State, but take us through this season. There's been many ups, and there's certainly been some downs, but probably a challenging year for you as a player on this team.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some tough losses, which is disappointing, but we've got to overcome those and kind of finish the season strong.
And I know there's more games to go that you want to finish strong, but at what point can you enjoy breakthrough wins like Montana and certainly Oregon State? That has to go down in your Hornet careers as some incredible moments.
Yeah, those are very memorable moments, and we just have to kind of move past those so we can focus on the next opponent.
Coach, the offensive line, and Nate specifically, how have they been a big part of your offense? How would you evaluate the O-line this year?
I think they've come together each week. They've gotten better, and I think it was kind of a work in progress to begin the season with. We had a new O-line coach. We had some new guys playing for the first time, and I think as we've gone week to week, they've definitely gelled and done a nice job. More specifically, I think Nate's had the best year that he's had, since he's been here. And I told him this about a week or two ago. His practice habits and demeanor have been second to none of any offensive lineman that we've had here, and it's really showed in his play. And he's really had a good year.
That's got to be important for you because he's one of the few seniors on that offensive line.
Yeah, and we wish we could have redshirted him. That was our plan with him. He's just turned 21 and he's a senior, and it'd be nice to have him for another year because he's still getting bigger and growing. And he came in as a 235-pound tight end, and now he's about 280 pounds. And really, I think it's his third year starting, and he's done a nice job for us.
Nate, you miss catching the ball?
Well, I didn't get any catches as tight end, so not really.
More of a blocker?
Yeah.
He's more of a glorified tackle playing tight end.
Yeah. Well, let's see some of your clips. We'll look at some of the work that you've done this year. And here's a run. Look at number 77, the left tackle here, basically setting up Jake Croxdale. Do you prefer run blocking or pass blocking?
I would say pass blocking. Yeah. Find that a little easier, but.
Yeah. Well, we got another clip of you here on the right side of your screen. Basically a long run here where you propel Jeff Fleming down the field. Again, look at number 77, and that you just blasted that guy out of the way.
Yeah, I had to get the guy upfield, and so Flem could run past me. So
you got some talented offensive skill players to watch run by you or catch the ball and go by. Your offense pretty dynamic. Here's another one, Sam McCowan, a junior. You're on the right side of the screen as well, and setting up Sam. And so still running downfield and still continuing your blocks, it looks like there.
Yeah, I had to pin that guy inside so Sam could get around me.
And then finally, we kind of asked the difference between pass blocking or run blocking. Here we got a pass attempt where show a little pass blocking here. It'll be on the left side of the screen. And so it was a shorter route, but you guys take some pride, and you really haven't given up that many sacks this year.
Yeah, definitely a good thing. So
yeah, we got to keep Jeff, or if it's Garrett or Edwards in there. How about that challenge of having kind of a different voice in the huddle for a couple weeks?
It was kind of challenging, but we overcame that. I feel like did a good job with it.
And then finally for you, senior and maybe some future plans? What do you have in the horizon?
I plan on going to a fire academy, become a firefighter after college. So.
Wow. And Coach, I know that Nate would be a guy that he'll be missed. I mean, he's one of your seniors. He's been here. He's been in the program, seen the growth, been through the blood, sweat, and tears. Really, he'll be a guy you guys will miss.
Definitely. He's done a nice job as a 3-year starter and really playing a lot as a freshman when he came in, and we'll certainly miss him.
I know Idaho State is left, and then, of course, the Causeway. I'm sure the target is to finish 2-0, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
What would it mean to go out in your final year if you could beat Davis?
That'd be really good, actually, because we didn't get him last year, but winning this year is a big goal of mine. So.
Absolutely. Well, good luck in your future. Thanks again for being our Paramount Equity Mortgage Player of the Week, and let's finish with 2 wins.
Thanks for having me.
All right, that's Nate Doverspike. We will go ahead and take the break. And when we come back, we'll look ahead to the Idaho State game, the home game this Saturday. That's at 6:05, as we'll talk about that with the coach coming up right here on Xfinity Hornet Football Weekly.
If you're a homeowner searching for a way to reduce your monthly payments, Think about this. Mortgage rates are near the lowest level in 6 decades, as low as 4.25%, APR 4.4. But how long will today's rates just sit there? I'm Hayes Barnard, owner of Paramount Equity. Rates change overnight, so don't be paralyzed by the negative housing stories. The reality is, there may never be a better time to lock in your rate of a lifetime. We can close your loan in as little as 10 days, and there's never any upfront costs. Because we're a direct lender, and we can bypass a lot of the big banks' red tape. Even better, if rates were to drop for any reason, we'll protect you with a free rate warranty. So give us a call. The savings is all yours. All you pay is less for your mortgage. No matter how long you've been in your home, I'm almost sure we can cut that biggest bill by 15%, maybe more.
5 minutes could save you thousands. Call right now, 1-800-747-1800.
Do you want inside access to the NFL? Xfinity gets you closer to the game with a front row seat to everything NFL. Get in-depth 24/7 coverage all season long on NFL Network. With Xfinity, the best seat in the house is in your house. Get NFL Network's 24/7 coverage of all 32 teams, plus game recaps on demand when you upgrade to Digital Preferred TV for just $9.99 more a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Time now to look ahead to the Big Sky home finale. That's Idaho State this Saturday night, 6:05. Coach, another challenge. It's always there each week. You never know what kind of opponent you might face, but let's talk a little bit about Idaho State. And I know something you've actually told me that's probably true at this point in time. It's about the opponent, but a lot of it is probably trying to correct some of your misfortunes and really center in on Sacramento State.
Yeah, you know, at this point in the season, you've seen everything against your opponents. They've seen you. You have a pretty good feel. It really comes down to just good execution and protecting the football and, you know, managing the game is probably what it comes down to most of these last couple games.
Yeah. Now, you guys have had some tough losses. They just had a bye. Does that do anything? I mean, gives them a little extra time, heal some bodies, maybe throw in some new wrinkles. You have to be aware of that this week?
Yeah, definitely. I think anytime you have, you know, an extra 2 or 3 days to practice, it gives you a chance to put some new wrinkles in, like you said, and we have to be prepared for that.
All right, let's look at what you'll be facing this week. And we got some highlights, and we'll be saying a lot on the radio, Yost to Rumble, because they do that a lot. A ton of receptions for Roderick Rumble. Big Sky record, 98 catches, Coach. I mean, there's really no mystery. They're going to throw to him a lot.
Yeah, he's a good receiver, big target, 6'2", 200-pound kid that runs well, and he's proven himself each week throughout the season.
Now we got another one of these two connecting here, and I mean, 98 catches is just incredible. The amount of, I mean, they want to throw, and they'll throw a lot, and here's Yost getting out of the pocket, but basically just looking for his main target.
Yeah, they've abandoned the run game. You know, they really haven't run the football at all this season, and they're committed to the pass, and when you throw it 55, 60 times a game, you're going to have some good numbers, and they've proven that.
And we got another clip. This time it's a Derek Graves, a different receiver. Looks like busted coverage here against Montana State.
Yeah, quarterback does a good job there buying some time, and like you said, it's a busted coverage. He's sitting there wide open. He shows he can run a little bit too, and they've got some good speed at the wide out position, and that's a concern of ours that we need to, you know, be prepared for as we go into this game.
All right, let's talk about them defensively. They don't have a lot of great numbers, but they can get after the quarterback. So we've got a couple of sacks for them here on our next set of clips, but early concerns as you approach them as a, you know, their defensive team.
I think the main thing for us on offense is their multiple looks that they provide. You know, they play a 50 defense, kind of a flex look where they'll line backers up in the line of scrimmage and drop them and rush them and try to confuse you a little bit with those looks. So we got to do a good job of recognizing things.
All right, let's get another illustration of that. At least we have one more sack here of Idaho State as they are able to get to the quarterback near safety here. So again, Fleming or whatever combination of QBs you have this week will have to be ready.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, if they're going to give you a bunch of different looks and all of a sudden you miss on one or you think they're doing something else, you see in a lot of their sacks it's one guy coming free or someone that didn't get picked up, and those are things that we have to be aware of.
And the fact that it's the Big Sky home finale, you had some chances at home. I'm sure you're just trying to get this thing right back on track this weekend.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity. We're at home. We're playing a team that's, you know, they've had their struggles as well, and it really comes down to, you know, what team's going to pull together here and finish up strong and give us a good opportunity to get another Big Sky win.
Well, you mentioned finishing strong. We'll talk about the Hornets Strength and Conditioning Program as that'll be our spotlight. That is coming up as we continue with more Xfinity Hornet Football Weekly.
Going to Sac State has meant a lot to me. As a government major, I've had so many opportunities.
I'm the first in my family to go to college, so I'm kind of testing the waters.
Sac State is better for my education because I get a well-rounded education, as opposed to just going to a trade school where I just learned that trade.
I think that it'll help in getting a career and getting my life started.
The campus itself I just think is gorgeous. All the trees.
I feel really fortunate to be here during a time of so much growth.
It has grown so much as a destination campus.
All my friends are here. The atmosphere is awesome.
I like that I'm right at school and I don't have to walk really far.
Good sports teams.
Yeah, good sports teams.
I like the opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities here. I'd be happy knowing that I graduated from Sac State.
Well, I've chosen Sac State.
You know, Sac State, and they just give you a lot of love. They show you a lot of love.
Do you want inside access to the NFL? Xfinity gets you closer to the game with a front row seat to everything NFL. Get in-depth 24/7 coverage all season long on NFL Network. With Xfinity, the best seat in the house is in your house. Get NFL Network's 24/7 coverage of all 32 teams, plus game recaps on demand when you upgrade to Digital Preferred TV for just $9.99 more a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
All right, time to focus in on the Hornet Strength and Conditioning Program. First-year strength and conditioning coach and the director of strength and conditioning here for Hornet Athletics is Jared Neslin. Fresh face, Jared. Right, you just kind of a tough start coming right in September, but welcome to the set.
Yep, thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, well, it's a kind of a jump right in and fly for you, isn't it?
Yeah, coming in the first, essentially the first week of season, it's kind of a difficult time for a head strength coach. You're coming in right into the meat of the season. Strength coaches kind of live for the off season. That's when we kind of get to do our thing. So it's been a unusual adjustment.
Well, so for you, your adjustment it's a year-round deal. It is for the athletes as well. So kind of take us maybe through one of the, not specific players, but what a player would have to go through in a kind of a 12-month calendar to get fit and ready.
Yeah, during the season, the players are in a 2, 3, or 4 day a week strength and conditioning program depending on their status on the team. So the guys that are playing a lot of snaps, they'll generally lift 2 or 3 times a week. If they're in the redshirt program, they will be lifting 4 days a week and more of a development off-season type mentality. After the season, they'll have a little time away, healed up, go home over Christmas break, then they're back with me 4 days a week with winter conditioning, and that's kind of our main developmental time. That's where we do a lot of our speed and agility training and just really preparing for the season, making great gains in the weight room with strength and power. They'll go into the spring ball, and then we're more of an in-season type mentality there, so 2 days a week usually, and little time off, at the beginning of the summer, and then they're usually back training in the summer, preparing for the season 5 days a week.
And that time off is probably as important as the time on, isn't it? I mean, you need to rest your body too and get healed. And
of course, mentally as well as physically, especially coming off the season. There's a lot of guys towards the end of the season that are dinged up, have injuries, some major, some minor, but you need the time away physically to recuperate and mentally. so you can attack it in the off season.
And the weight training's not obviously just to get bigger, but there's injury prevention and agility, strength, speed. All these things are what's at the goals, right?
I mean, a big aspect of our job is the strength and power, performance enhancement, but it's also keeping the athletes healthy during the season. It's our job to do the injury prevention and develop the mental side of the athlete also.
And keep those injuries as limited as possible, that's for sure. Well, Jared, thanks for joining me, and welcome to Sacramento, and hopefully we'll see you for many years to come.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Jared Neslin. We thank him. And a little bit of a taste into what's going on in the Hornet Strength and Conditioning Program. We will come back, wrap things up with Marshall Spurbeck as we continue here on Xfinity Hornet Football Weekly.
Inside the 4. 8 minutes to go in the quarter. 382. And they need to score on this.
All right, as we wrap things up, back here with the coach, Marshall Spurbeck, we just talked a little bit about strength and conditioning and obviously it's so huge for your sport during the season and for the guys really coming up in the off season.
Yeah, it's a big part during the season for our young guys too, and Coach Neslin's done a nice job of getting them in and spending some extra time. Some of those freshmen have been lifting, 3 and 4 times a week. And if you're not playing, your body's not getting beat up. It's a good 2 or 3 months to really develop. So we've taken advantage of that with our young guys.
And just the facilities and the improvements, at firsthand, it's just incredible. The weight room now and just everything you guys have over there.
Yeah, and on top of that, a lot of our guys are lifting at the well. They get down there over Christmas break, and we have a month and a half off where we really can't train them. And a lot of them will take advantage of going down there and lifting on their own.
All right, Coach, so Saturday, 6:05, another opportunity. Idaho State comes in here, and it's time to get this thing going back on the right track, huh?
Yeah, it really is. And, we've had some close games, and we've had some good efforts, like I said. And I think the guys that are, they're hanging in there, they're battling, and we just need to push it over the top this week and get back on track.
All right, well, good luck, Coach, and we'll see you Saturday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Marshall Spurbeck. Thanks again to all of our guests here today on another edition of Xfinity Hornet Football Weekly as Sacramento State goes for the win this weekend as they will battle Idaho State. Hopefully we'll get everyone out there. But again, join us next week as we return for another edition of Xfinity Hornet Football Weekly.